And welcome back to the special edition of Roll Call TV. We are here at the Poorhouse Tavern. Let's start off with the celebrities here on Capitol Hill. There has been a huge influx, Beth, of A-list celebrities here, and let's talk about Brad Pitt.
Well, you don't get any more A-list than Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Except maybe his girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, well, Brad Pitt came last year to talk about New Orleans. He has been heavily involved with a lot of the reconstruction down there. He and Angelina Jolie actually formed a charity to help rebuild, especially down in the 9th Ward. He actually came to Capitol Hill, lobbied several members, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi, appeared at a press conference with her. It was quite an exciting day.
Did you go gaga?
A lot of girls did. I was up there, and he was hard to find because he had security with him. He was going from office to office. He was working.
Now, you notice she didn't say yes or no if she went gaga.
We're professionals.
Did you go gaga?
We're professionals.
Come on. Just between us and the viewer at home. Did you go gaga?
You know what? I don't go gaga for Brad Pitt. Sorry.
Who do you go? What celebrity do you go gaga for?
You know, if George Clooney were to come lobby, I might go gaga.
Well, there was a lot of guys, I think, on Capitol Hill that went gaga for Nicole Kidman. That's another A-lister, no?
Yeah,
absolutely. Why was she here?
She was here. She was testifying before a House committee about violence against women. And I have to say, it was one of the best attended committee hearings that I've ever been to, and by all these young interns. Who would think they had such an interest in this issue? But apparently, it's very popular among the young men on Capitol Hill.
Sure. Come on. I mean, that's just a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Speaking of no-brainers, I'm sure a lot of people went gaga over J-Lo, too. I mean, just in terms of her...
Yes.
She actually came not for anything for her. She came with her husband, Mark Anthony, who was being honored by the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. And she also appeared at a press conference with Speaker Pelosi, and she showed up an hour and a half late to the press conference.
You know, that's not cool.
No, and actually Nicole Kidman was supposed to stick around after her testimony and talk to the press, and she scooted right out. So sometimes these folks, they come and they do act a little diva-esque.
Well, you should not do that to the speaker. I mean, of all people.
Right.
I mean, come on.
She's right in line for the presidency.
That's true. That's true.
Very
speaking of diva, I think I can say this about him. I mean, when you think about Richard Simmons, you think about the curly hair, you think about the 80s shorts all the way down to the knees, and of course the socks all the way up to the knees, and what was Richard Simmons doing up here?
He was one of the quirkier celebrities.
You say quirky, I say diva.
We love when Richard Simmons comes to the Hill. He does come on a pretty regular basis, and he lobbies for the inclusion of phys ed in public schools and for nutrition programs. Of course, that's a big cause of his. And we love it when he comes to the Hill because he acts just zany and nuts and fun. I remember one time, this wasn't this year, but on a previous visit, he actually was stopping staffers on their way out of the cafeteria and asking them what they had put on their sandwich and did they have mayo on it and didn't they think that wasn't a great idea, and just a lot of energy and kooky and hilarious, and everyone loves when Richard Simmons comes to the Hill. It's a little bit different than Brad Pitt, different sort of vibe, but nevertheless a fun guy to have around.
Capitol Hill is very, button up.
Yeah, right.
Keep to yourself, just do your work. And so when he comes, the whole dynamic changes for the day.
Yeah.
We got about a minute left. Who is your favorite celebrity of 2009 that was on Capitol Hill?
My favorite? Well, I mean, I guess I would just say Richard Simmons because it was fun. But I mean, in terms of the attention that he got, I'd say Brad Pitt was the hugest. It definitely stopped traffic.
Do that really make a difference when they come on Capitol Hill in terms of the causes that they're advocating?
Well, it certainly brings people out to their media events. People who have sort of obscure causes always like to get a celebrity because it brings a huge amount of press in, and you get people there to see your cause that no one would have noticed otherwise.
And often they then get photographed, and it's sort of in the tabloids too. And just getting your causes or your charity mentioned in a tabloid and bringing it to that audience is a really big deal too. So it's not just a Beltway audience.
And how do you find out about how do you get advance notice of the celebrities coming to town?
Sometimes the organization they're working with will alert the press, let us know. Other times they do it a little bit quietly. Brad Pitt didn't put out a big press release announcing he was coming. We just sort of heard that through the grapevine and had to be ready when he arrived.
And very quickly, and you can, just between the three of us here, very quickly, is there any celebrity out there that you just wish would just kind of go away that comes to Capitol Hill just way too often?
Oh.
Or you want to plead the fifth? You want to plead the fifth? Okay. All right. You don't have to.
We do have a list of overexposed celebrities. Maybe we'll share at some point.
Okay, maybe on the commercial break. And speaking of commercial break, we will be right back from the Poorhouse Tavern. And when we come back in a few moments, we're going to be talking about scandals.